What a turn of events, guys. Check it out. It's about 3:50 p.m. right now on the East Coast, and the bulls are back to play, at least as of now. Again, it's 3:50 p.m., and all these indexes are up like crazy. The NASDAQ's up 2.6%, the Russell's up 1.4%, the S&P's up 1.7%, and we have the Dow Jones up 1.1% as the VIX is down 11%. And you guys remember a couple days ago, the VIX, or was that yesterday? Either way, the VIX was at 30 points. Now we're back down again, 11%. We're back to 23 points on the VIX. So we're going to break down what's going on right now. Why are the markets exploding? Why are the bank stocks recovering? I'm also going to talk about some stocks I'm looking at, of course. What else are we going to talk about here on the Stocks Talk Stocks YouTube channel? So if you guys find value, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already for some odd reason. And don't forget to also get up to 17 stocks for Moomoo. More on the details on that later. Those stocks are linked down below. And now let's dive into the video. So looking at SPY here right off the bat, we're still in a downtrend on the 20-day chart, but if you zoom in a little bit, we're now breaking out with today's big move here into the close, right? 8 minutes from close. We're now breaking out of the highs from pretty much all week. You guys can see that right here. And we're now approaching the resistance point from, I think this was on, no, this is last Thursday. So we're actually breaking the highs from Friday as well. Kudos to the bulls right now. So again, we're still in a downtrend overall, but SPY is starting to maybe reverse. We have to give it some time, but it's starting to see some positive momentum, at least from the bullish perspective, right? And if we start taking out, let's say 400, the high from the 9th a week ago, let's say we start breaking 407 where this ETF was on the 6th of March, that's, that could be where we start getting a legitimate reversal. And if you look at triple Q, this is actually a little bit ahead of SPY. This is breaking out of the highs not only from the past couple of days, but also the past couple of weeks. You guys can see now triple Q is breaking out of $300 as of today and 305. That is a very big spot. Two big spots for triple Q. We're breaking out, and you can see 304-ish, 305. That was the high from the beginning of this month. So the fact that we're breaking out of that point, we're starting to break the downtrend on the 20-day chart. We're above the moving averages. We have a golden cross. These are very good signs in the short term, at least for the bulls. And pulling up the 4-hour chart, you guys are going to see it's breaking out on this time frame as well. So triple Q actually looks pretty good right now from the bullish perspective, no doubt. I mean, we're well above the moving averages and all those things that I just mentioned on the 20-day chart. This looks good, really good. But SPY, from the bullish perspective, is not anywhere near that yet. And we'll see. Maybe next week or maybe tomorrow we do end up breaking out even further. But right now, you guys got to realize this does not look, SPY does not look like triple Q at all. Triple Q is looking pretty good. SPY not there quite yet. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? Well, there's some news regarding the banks that we have to talk about. Banks including JP Morgan, Citigroup, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Morgan Stanley, and a bunch of other ones. These banks are going to be contributing now to First Republic Bank. They're essentially contributing money right now to First Republic Bank, I believe roughly $30 billion to keep them afloat during this crisis that they're experiencing, which let me actually pull up First Republic Bank's stock chart very quickly. Let's pull it up. FRC is the ticker. And I'm freaking kicking myself, guys. I'm kicking myself. And of course, I couldn't predict this, but this morning I was looking at it at 20 and I was like, I should probably take a little gamble position in this. And no joke, guys, you see what happened after that. I mean, this thing went from 2022 where I was looking at it this morning, and it ran all the way to almost $40. Now it's cooling off in the mid-30s. So yeah, if I were to buy it, I didn't though, full disclosure, but if I were to buy it, I would be up 50%. That would have been the easiest 50% of my life. Maybe not the easiest, but because there's a lot of risk involved with these banks, especially First Republic Bank. But it made a big move, and I'm pissed at myself for not taking a position. But listen, banks including, like I said, those that I just mentioned, they're contributing a bunch of money now to First Republic Bank. I think Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and JP Morgan, those four are contributing $5 billion each. That's $20 billion. And Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, they're doing $2.5 billion each. So that's $25 billion. And then we have Truist, PNC, USB, which is United States Bancorp, right? State Street and BK, New York Bank, New York Mellon, or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're contributing $1 billion each, so totaling $30 billion. And once we got that news, this stock went ballistic because as of now, again, they're in a they're in a crunch. They had these long-term bonds, right? They lost a bunch of money on those. What are they going to do now if customers start to deposit at a withdraw at a massive rate? They don't have the deposits. They're going to be in a pickle, right? So at this point, the bank had said Sunday recently they had more than $70 billion available liquidity right now, not counting additional funds it would possibly raise from the Federal Reserve's Bank Term Funding Program. But clearly, that was not enough money to keep investors from dumping the stock, as we've seen these past couple of days. And again, that news, they said that on Sunday. And today's what? Thursday when I'm making this video. So they need even more money than $70 billion, guys. They need more than that. They need the $30 billion. So maybe they have $100 billion now, maybe more, maybe less, whatever. But they're getting money from the big banks out there. And that's just how it is at this point for these, for some of these regional banks. They're getting bailed out. They're getting the money from other big banks. And at this point, could any company fail? It seems like every big company, and I'm not saying that New York Signature Bank or SVB, they should necessarily fail and everybody loses all their money, because that would suck for the depositors, right? So it's kind of a weird situation going on. But let's say with the airlines, for example, they all got bailed out. I mean, when is a company going to go out of business in this economy or in this system that we have? That's neither here nor there. And of course, if SVB actually went under, or they didn't, back every deposit, or, if they're not backing these banks, the whole financial system could collapse, which clearly they don't want that. So that's obviously the reason why they're backing these, or the main reason that they're backing these banks. But either way, guys, that's what we're seeing right now. And First Republic Bank is now up 9.5%, almost 10% on the day. The markets are about to close, and it's one that could still, in my eyes, go either way. Even though they just got this $30 billion from all the bigger banks, this could really still go either way. So I'm keeping my eyes on these bank stocks in general. Of course, we've been talking about them. And I do have a video coming out tomorrow about the bank stocks that I'm looking at, 5 in particular. And the funny thing is I actually filmed that video coming out tomorrow before the whole FRC, 30 billion happened. So keep that in mind. But either way, I have a 5 bank stock video coming out tomorrow, so watch out for that. And now, guys, let's take a look at other stocks that I'm looking at. But actually, wait, before we do that, if you haven't gotten up to 17 stocks yet for Moomoo, I don't know why you're still waiting. Use that link down below. And by the way, this link is limited time for the up to 17 stocks. Use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. Deposit at least $100. You get another 4 free shares of stock plus 2 shares of either ticker symbol AI or BBAI. You got to do that with at least $100 deposited. That's 7 free stocks. And if you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks on top of the 7, totaling 17 stocks. So if you want to help out the channel, guys, you also want to get some free stocks. Who doesn't like free money? Use that link down below. I appreciate you all. As always, let me know what stocks you get. And now let's talk about some stocks. So today, guys, I know you saw the NASDAQ went up 2.7% on the day. We had a lot of big tech names go crazy. Let's pull some of these up. So Google is one that I want to show you guys. Let me pull it up here. Ticker symbol GOOG. Google went up 5% today. That's a massive move for the company. For a company this size. We had Amazon go up 4% on the day, up almost $4 on the day. It closed over $100 per share. We had companies like, let's see what Meta did today. Meta up another 3.6%. Now it's breaking past 200. Look at that. Apple today. Let's see what Apple did. 2% day, and look at that, guys. Apple starting to take out this this wedge that we've been talking about. Now it's at a multi-day high. If it takes out this 156 level, which we're right there, I think we did peak above it earlier in the day, but we have to retest it. If we do break 156 on Apple, we could be really taking off at that point. You got to realize that. And going back to Google, actually, let me pull up Microsoft. Microsoft, oh my God, look at that. We called this out, did we not? I mean, this thing went up 4% today, $11. Now it's breaking out almost to a not a week high, multi-month high. We can see now we're taking out slowly but surely this 275 resistance from February. If we clear that, go to the 280s, multi-month high, boom, just like that. So I kind of wanted to build a bigger position in Google and in Amazon, especially in Amazon, because Google is already my biggest position, my biggest individual stock position, should I say. But Amazon's nowhere near. And I wanted to build it up more, but it's starting to rip. I mean, this thing was at $88 a couple days ago. Now it's pushing 100. If we break 102, which is the high from back in November, October, this could be off to the races if we break that point. I mean, it could start going 110, 120, just like that. So I'm not selling these, of course, but I'm holding on, especially to Amazon and Google, and I do still have some Apple and Meta. And I pretty much own all these, but I've been trimming a little bit of Apple. I mentioned that here, trimmed a little Meta as well, and I'm accumulating Amazon and Google at these levels. And I actually recently bought more Google, I think last week at 91 something. Amazon, I was buying in the low 90s. And all you guys in my Patreon, if you watch the Patreon portfolio, you know what's been going down in that portfolio. Shameless plug. Check it out down below if you guys want to be a part of the Patreon. So yeah, Amazon's looking like it wants to break out. And if it does break out, I might not add any more Amazon for now. But if it starts to come back down, under 90 especially, you know what I'm going to do. And especially with Google, you know what I'm going to do if it starts to come down, under 90, 85 especially, I'm going to be buying, right? So those are a couple big tech names I'm looking at. And you know my thoughts on Meta. This thing, now that it's breaking above 200, this is a big level that it's breaking out of. Looking at this 4-hour chart, you guys can see now that we broke 200 and honestly 195, we're trading above the highs from the beginning of February. Very big breakout here for the bulls. And we called out this cup and handle, did we not? That's playing out. And if we pull up the 3-year chart, actually, let me pull up the 1-year chart. Maybe that'll show us. Yeah, this will show us where this could be going in the short term. So don't you guys remember I was saying 220, 225, 230, 235? These are some big levels coming up on Meta. We have 225 being the high from last year, May of last year, so about 10 months ago, and we have 235 being the high from about a year ago. That was the high from the end of March 2022. So that's where this thing could be going. Now that we broke 195, 200, that's where momentum could take us. So big tech stocks, guys, looking at the charts, sure, some of them are overbought. In fact, most of them are overbought. But it looks like the bulls are gaining momentum, especially in Meta. I mean, the bulls have had momentum in Meta for months, and now they're starting to gain it back in Google stock. Not fully yet, but Google's looking pretty good now in the short term, and Amazon's starting to reverse. And we have Microsoft looking pretty good, and Apple is pretty much... You guys see what Microsoft did? You guys see how it's super extended now, as it broke out of the wedge? That's what I think Apple's going to do. I think Apple's a step behind Microsoft here. You guys see the wedge, the breakout is just starting. If we have another day like this tomorrow where the markets explode, expect for Apple to really start to break into the 160s, maybe low 160s, at least as of now. Again, I think it's one step behind where Microsoft is. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me see what other stocks I wanted to talk about. I think we had FedEx report, but I'm not sure if their numbers are out yet. Oh my goodness, their numbers have to be out considering the stock's up $15 after the bell, guys. Look at this. The stock on the day went up 4.5%, closed at 204. Great day for FedEx, but here after the bell, guys, it is up massively. That is no joke here. It closed at 204. Now it's at 219. It's up 8% after the bell. So let me see what they ended up doing. It looks like they did $3.41 in EPS versus the $2.72 estimated. So they beat on that, and they beat on sales. $22.2 billion versus the $22.74. Actually, no, they missed on sales. That's my fault. They beat EPS. They missed on sales, but it looks like the markets don't give a crap. Let me see what guidance is looking like. Looks like they're unable to forecast full year 23 mark-to-market retirement plans. All right. It looks like they raised their full year 23 EPS guidance from $13 to $14 to $14.60 to $15.20. You got to love it. That's good. They're raising guidance on EPS. Are they raising guidance on revenue? I'm not really seeing that as of now. But overall, guys, FedEx stock, holy crap, it's up 8% after the bell. Looks like on the 4-hour chart now, we're breaking out of this triangle that I had drawn out. You know, we were seeing resistance at $215 for a couple weeks, about actually a month and a half. So now that we're breaking out of that point, we can see it's starting to run to the highs from July. That's a good sign for the bulls. July, August is where we're probably going to be going to the levels that we were at back in those months, which are roughly 235, 240. And we'll see. We'll see how the earnings call goes. This could reverse. It's still very early. The earnings literally came out. So if something comes out in the earnings call that the stock doesn't like, this could go red. You never know. But as of now, it's popping. And I guess, I mean, they did guide up EPS. So what could come out of the earnings call that could ruin that run? I don't know. Maybe revenue isn't going to be that great this year. We'll see, guys. But it looks like they're cutting, or not cutting. They see full year 23 capital spending of almost $6 billion. Are we seeing anything on revenue yet? Not seeing anything. But overall, the stock's up. It's breaking out. Kudos to all the FedEx shareholders out there. This thing's looking good. You want to know another one that's looking pretty good, guys? Then we'll wrap up the video. It is Pinterest, ticker symbol PINS. And I know I've been talking about this one a lot lately, but we've been calling it out, and for good reason. Look, today it went up 6%, closed at 26.53. It broke out of the moving averages now, and it looks like it's starting its way to at least to the highs from the beginning of this month, being about 27-ish. If that level is able to break, we could really start to go and test the highs from back in the beginning of February, being about 29. Maybe we start to go to the top of the channel, low 30s here on Pinterest. So this is looking good. Just wanted to do a quick update on it. And you could argue, I mean, to play devil's advocate here, guys, we could argue that this is a little head and shoulders. I mean, if you look at it on the 4-hour and maybe we get a little circle tool out. Come on, there we go. We do arguably, and I'm butchering this, but you guys get the point. Oh man, I really butchered that. But we could see a head and shoulders. But the neckline is $27. So I'll actually set my alert there. If we break out of that point, we reverse out of that neckline, then we're going to be going to the top of that channel that I'm talking about, $30, maybe even higher than that. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video. What do you all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and to my second channel called Stas Talks Money. Go check it out. And if you haven't gotten up to 17 stocks for Mumu yet, all the details are linked down below. And you guys can check out the Patreon if you guys want to see the Patreon portfolio. Keep up with that as I grow it over time. You want to be a part of the Discord chat. You want to see my charts and ideas throughout the day. And if you want one-on-one access to me directly, the best way to do that is through Patreon, link down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.